Mickey Dickey here, and I had a question on one of my other videos or comment as to when can I take money out of my IRA. And rather than write a dissertation that may not make any sense, I figured I'd write another or have another video to explain when you can take money out. Now, I want to focus on a couple different issues. The first is a traditional IRA is different than a simple IRA, is different than an inherited IRA, is different than a Roth IRA. But in general, on a traditional IRA, you can pull the money out whenever you want. There's no rules, regulations that say you can't, okay? Now, I want to preface this by saying I'm not a tax person. I'm not giving financial advice to anybody. I'm just telling you what the rules are, okay? So as far as pulling the money out of the IRA, you can pull it out whenever you want. If you're pulling it out before 59 and a half, you may have to pay a 10% penalty. So what I've done is I've got a link here to the IRS website so that you're getting it directly from the horse's mouth, so to speak, of what there are rules as far as being able to pull the money out without having to pay the penalty. I mean, generally speaking, if you're disabled, they're going to let you pull the money out without the penalty. You have to pay the tax, but not have to pay the penalty. For higher education, and then there's a nice list on here of what you can pull it out. And again, I don't want to go into this because it's not a simple answer as far as getting around the 10% penalty. You really need to speak with a CPA. You really need to speak with a financial advisor if you're thinking of pulling the money out before 59 and a half. Now, the other one that I want you to think about is the investments inside the IRA. So you might be able to pull the money out, but if you haven't had the IRA very long, or you just open it, or the investments inside the IRA aren't very old, there might be penalties for pulling it out of the investment as well. There might be gains and losses. Like if you opened the IRA last year, with the market being down over the last 12 months, you might have some losses in there. You're going to incur those losses before you pull it out. So you may want to rethink whether you're actually doing it at this time or not. And then again, there's some other investments in there. If you've bought into a mutual fund that has an upfront cost, there might, or no upfront cost, might be a C-share. There's a lot of different in mutual funds that have individual costs in it that you may not be thinking of because you originally invested in this in a long-term investment. So it might be looking at it in a different way. So keep that in mind. Annuities have huge expenses usually if they're not been around for a long period of time, have surrender charges. So keep that in mind as well. The other difference is, if you have an inherited IRA, again, you're basically a beneficiary of somebody else's IRA. So there's no penalties for pulling that money out. Again, you have to pay taxes on it. And again, there might be an issue as far as the investments. The same thing with a Roth IRA. It's, you can pull that out before 59 and a half. The simple has a couple extra little rules on it. If you pull the money out before 2 years, then there's another penalty for that. So simple IRAs are a little not as simple as they sound. But in general, you can pull the money out whenever you want to pull it out. There just might be other expenses to go along with that. Hopefully that's as muddied as I can make it, but Dickie out.